Proudly sponsored by Bettermore.
Welcome to the Senior School Debate Academy studios, and joining me in the studio is Majesty Chukura representing Asaba. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Something has been telling me that you are the winner, so don't even think of anything else.
You will do it. And she was telling me something, said, Mommy, by the time they give me the money, I don't know the amount yet. First of all, I'll pay my tithes.
In fact, it has been a big experience for me and my children and my family, honestly. And I think that this sort of thing should continue. It shouldn't stop here. Southeast, I think it should go all the way to the entire country.
She has so much great faith in her, and she's unpredictable. You know, she's really on the positive side of life.
The sponsors Better Malt, the organizers Heroes Entertainment, panel of impartial judges, fellow talkmates, fabulous audience, good day to you all. I am Chibuzo Ahiwe representing Imo State. I am here to prove with everyday verifiable evidence that the system is to be blamed for the decline in the level of education in Nigeria. According to CC Wagu in her paper, Environment of Crisis in the Nigerian Education System, education systems has to do with policy making, administration, the staff motivation, availability of working materials like teaching aids, and the conduciveness of the environment making up education. If anyone honestly examines the components making up the educational system in Nigeria, it will be clear that because they do not exist, the level of education is on the decline. From UNESCO reports, it is clear that from the perspective of preference, education is not in Nigeria's first list. Nigeria in recent years has not gone beyond 12% in the national budget for education. In the 2015 national budget, only 11.3% was mapped out for education. A far cry from the 26% UNESCO requirement for developing countries. Again, in a research paper by Achol 1991, poor remuneration of teachers was largely responsible for the debilitating standards of education in Nigeria, as the level of motivation and dedication of teachers reflect the level of education. How can the level of education not decline in a country where every government that comes changes and twists policies? For example, the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, upgraded 4 colleges of education to university status, and Buhari demoted them. Now, how is the student to blame for the decline? According to the Voice of Network of Tertiary Institutions, between 1999 and 2013, there was no single year that ASU did not go on strike, disrupting the academic calendar and breeding ill-taught graduates, thereby causing an immense decline in education. The fact opined by late Professor Chinua Achebe in his book, The Trouble with Nigeria, is that the trouble with the educational system is its leadership. Most educational appointments in the ministry are politicized. It is no longer based on competence, but on who knows you and Godfatherism. Most notably, in a research by F.E. Arong and M.A. Obadu on the major cause of declining quality of education in Nigeria, using schools in Dekina local government area of Kogi State as a case study, it was concluded that lack of adequate educational inspection and supervision of schools was the root cause for the decline. Therefore, the system is the problem with the educational system, with education in Nigeria, and not the student. To put it otherwise, or see it otherwise, would be to put the effect before the cause. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Producer, the judges, accurate timekeeper, and of course the audience. My name is Chukura Majesty, and I'm here to say that the students are to be blamed for a decline in the level of education. Education is generally a process by which a personality called the student acquires knowledge, develops abilities, attitudes, and various forms of behavior which are of value to him or her and to society at large. Nigeria, like other countries of the world, recognizes education as one of the major instruments in affecting moral, social, economic, and political development in order to become globally competitive. No wonder successive governments has put put in place policies and funds in order to favor the educational sector with a view of creating a viable educational system to maintain the standard of education. But the reverse is the case. The Nigerian students have refused to adequately play their own part towards achieving and sustaining this goal. The misplacement of value by the students has become a great challenge to the educational sector. A Nigerian student would rather prefer to spend more quality time attending to his social needs rather than academic issues. Hours are being spent watching movies and on irrelevant social networks like Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Cultism and partying has become the order of the day, especially in tertiary institutions. If all these are being done by the students for a very long time, then why won't there be massive failure, and why won't the level of education decline? The results of the poor reading culture on the part of the student. Nowadays, it's very rare for you to find a student saying he wants to go and read or go and make use of the library. It's either you find them reading 1 week or 2 weeks before the exam. But why should this be when the scheme of work has been provided by the system at the beginning of every academic session? It is now left for us, the students, to go and read ahead. But some students still want to read 1 week before the exams because they know there's only one way they have to pass in that same exam, which we all know is by examination and practice. But let me remind you out that no matter how you do it, if you fail to prepare, you're prepared to fail. Also, the lack of reading habits by the system is what causes failure, because it is either they do not know how to read or do not understand the question in exams. Finally, I want every Nigerian student to take a very good look at themselves in the mirror, and what will they see? Themselves and not the system. We no longer need to rely on the system anymore. All you have to do is devote more of your time to study, and your future will be bright, which all depends on you. Thank you.
Thank you once again. My opponent talkmate, said that students engage in examination malpractice. Now, in Nigeria, but the truth is that the problem is from the system and not the students. Now, the highest paid people or workers in Nigeria are politicians. According to Guardian UK, Switzerland has the highest educational standard in the world. Why? Because their teachers are the most highly paid workers in their system. Again, my opponent also said that lack of reading culture is the cause of the declining quality in education. But please, do not blame the student. In Owerri, where I come from, you can count up to 200 fully equipped hotels and what have you, but only one fully equipped library. So what do you expect the student to do when he has no books to read and the libraries are not fully equipped? So, you see, the problem is from the system. When educational appointments become based on competence, then the level of education in Nigeria will increase. Therefore, I believe and reaffirm that the system is to be blamed for the decline and not the student. Thank you.
My opponent said that there is only one equipped library, but we all should learn how to make do with the little you have, because out of nothing becomes something. You yourself determines what your future will look like. You no longer need to rely on the system for everything. Thanks to technology, we have the e-learning where you can study right from your bedroom. Also, she said as reading culture. Some students nowadays, you find them, they have the laissez-faire attitude that they don't commit themselves to study. They say, I have a student that I can depend on in exams, and so they resort to exam malpractice. Thank you.
Proudly sponsored by Bettermore.